According to breaking information, the SEC has finally decided to allow Bitcoin spot ETFs to be traded in the US market. It was later understood that the SEC's Twitter account was hacked and the news was not true. Details are in our news below. First version of the news. According to breaking information, the SEC will allow Bitcoin spot ETFs to be traded in the US market. In the statement made by the SEC official X account, the good news of the approval of Bitcoin ETFs was shared as follows. Today, the SEC approved Bitcoin ETFs to list on all registered national securities exchanges. Approved Bitcoin ETFs will be subject to ongoing oversight and compliance measures to ensure continued investor protection. Today the SEC grants approval for #Bitcoin ETFs for listing on all registered national securities exchanges. The approved Bitcoin ETFs will be subject to ongoing surveillance and compliance measures to ensure continued investor protection. pic.twitter.com/ogenkov0wcr. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, @SecGov, January 9, 2024. Purchasing ETFs through highly regulated and reliable money management firms like BlackRock or Fidelity could encourage a broader pool of investors for Bitcoin to add it to their portfolios. Over the past decade, the SEC has rejected many attempts to launch these products, citing fears of manipulation in the cryptocurrency market and issuers' inability to protect investors. The SEC approved the first Bitcoin futures ETF in October 2021, raising hopes for quick approval of related investment vehicle spot BTC ETFs, but a quick approval still did not materialize. Since then, numerous money managers have filed for approval, with two of the most prominent, BlackRock and Grayscale Investments, receiving a large amount of coverage in the news. This is not investment advice. Some suggest the SEC could use the recent, unauthorized, post as an excuse to delay an ETF approval, but most see it only as a remote possibility. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, will likely still go ahead with a decision on spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds this week despite opening an investigation into a recent hack of its social media account. The SecX account was compromised on January 9, leading to an unknown party using the account to post that spot Bitcoin ETFs were approved in the United States. The message was deleted around 20 minutes later but caused widespread ruckus on social media and the markets. The SEC reportedly said it is engaging with law enforcement to get to the bottom of the incident. Some commentators worry the blunder could be used as an excuse to delay the decision past the anticipated January 10 deadline, though most see this as only a remote possibility. It depends on the intention of the SEC. If the SEC is looking for ways to continue delaying the ETF process, it's possible they could use this as a reason to slow down the rollout, said Dennis Potter, CEO of Satoshi Action Fund in a note to Cointelegraph. Potter noted that his contacts still indicate the Securities and Exchange Commission will give the green light to the spot Bitcoin ETF applicants on Jan. 10. However, everything I am hearing from my contacts would suggest that the ETF will be here as late as this week, and as early as tomorrow. U.S. Attorney and commercial litigator Joe Calasare said anything is possible but also leaned heavily toward the SEC still making a decision by the January 10 deadline. Anything is possible, but I find it to be extremely unlikely that they aren't going to approve or reject based on this incident, Calasare told Cointelegraph. However, the securities regulator could use the false post to suit a delay agenda, suggests Matty Greenspan of cryptocurrency-focused finance firm Quantum Economics. I can certainly see a situation where the SEC would try to use this fiasco as a way to delay the ETF approval. It wouldn't be the first time they've used underhanded methods to force their agenda on the markets. Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas said he's still anticipating official approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF sometime between 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Coordinated Universal Time, on Jan. 10. Related. Lawyers, Politicians call for investigation of SEC over Bitcoin ETF post. Digital asset lawyer Anthony Secine of Seward and Kissel reportedly told the New York Post he didn't believe the incident would change the likelihood of approvals at this late stage. Secine said he wasn't sure why someone would do something like that when the approval was already widely anticipated. "This is really puzzling," Secine said.